Well, at the same time, the Constitutional Court today is hearing the bid by the former President Jacob ZUMA to have his 15-month imprisonment sentence reviewed or rescinded. Zuma is currently serving his term in the Escort Correctional Center. Well, let's discuss this latest development there with political analyst Sandile Swana. Mr. Swana, good afternoon. Thank you very much for your time. You've been following the proceedings in the Concord. I followed the start, the very first part, not even an hour of the proceedings. It was very interesting at some point, and I want to start there when there was some interaction between the judges and Advocate Dalimpofu, and he brought up the name of P.W. Botha in terms of him not having complied with a commission of inquiry during the apartheid days. What is there similarity between what has happened here and what happened then?
Well, the similarities are limited, Braden. What actually happened in the ZUMA case as opposed to the P.W. Botha case, the Truth Commission, which, as some people would say, P.W. Botha defied, as opposed to the refusal by former President Jacob Zuma to go to the Zondo Commission. The difference is that the Zondo Commission went to the Constitutional Court and asked for an order, ordering him to come to the Commission, and he defied that order. P.W. Botha was not in exactly the same position. There was no order, a court order ordering him to go.
Okay,
yeah.
Thanks for clarifying that. Just in the interest of time, we're going to have to keep on moving. So far, what are the arguments like? Because I guess the premise for argument for Advocate Dalimpofu would be to convince the Constitutional Court judges that they erred in their ruling of sentencing the former President Jacob Zuma to 15 months in jail for contempt of court without a trial.
Yes, some key points, Braden. Number one, he said that the Constitutional Court demoted itself by making themselves the court of first instance. In other words, just for the sake of illustration, if they had said this thing must go to the magistrate courts or the high court, then there would have been appeals and so on in the process. Now they are the last court. They made themselves the first and the last court of instance. So they denied themselves that opportunity, and they asked them to be humble enough to understand that they're as human as any magistrate court in South Africa, and therefore they must know that the time has come for them to review the decision that they may have made in error. Secondly, Dalimpofu is arguing that because the application made by Zondo, which relates to contempt of court by the Zondo Commission, it's a hybrid. In other words, it mixes they are complaining in a civil way and also in a criminal way. The contempt of court itself is a criminal matter, although it's a civil contempt of court. So which means that when you are now having to be charged and sentenced for civil contempt, when you go to prison, the prisoner next door to the former President Zuma's cell must have gone through the same process. Otherwise, the same criminal procedure process. In other words, you will get charged, you get a chance to mitigate, you get a chance of appeal, and all those things that you ultimately end up being committed to the prison.
Just to, we don't have much time. Your sense so far, up to now, because I guess the arguments will continue for the rest of the afternoon. It might be a long session, maybe even into the evening. Your sense at this stage, what does it take? What does it look like? I mean, is Advocate Dalimpofu making an impact? Is it getting across, or are the judges of the Constitutional Court not convinced yet?
I think that I think he's making good sense and he's making an impact. And he is quoting some of their own previous judgments, by the way, in other cases, Constitutional Court judges. So the absence of Zuma boycotting the proceedings of the Zondo Commission and the court case has complicated the issue. And I think the judges may be likely to reconsider, but that does not mean Zuma will escape, because if he wins this case, all it means is that he has got to be tried now for contempt of court and sentenced accordingly.
Thank you very much, Sandile Swana, for some of his insight. He's a political analyst, of course, but he's been keenly watching and following the Concord session today, where Advocate Dalimpofu, on behalf of his client, who started serving a 15-month jail sentence, that's the former President Jacob Gedleyihlekisa Zuma, last year, to say that the Constitutional Court may have erred in its original ruling, and has been asking them to review it. We'll have to wait and see how that's going to pan out.